Welcome once again to Multilingual Zotero, an experimental variant of the main Zotero client that is designed to serve the needs of scholars working across multiple languages and scripts. This session will cover some of the games that we can play with output once we have a Zotero database that has been enriched with multilingual variants. We'll be using a couple of screens for the session. One is our trusty Zotero database, which has an English reference and a few Japanese references, which have been kitted out with translations and transliterations for use in the document that we're about to draft over here. And we'll build that in LibreOffice in a couple of seconds. But first we'll go to the Preferences menu and open Languages and give a little thought to who the audience for this thing's going to be. If we're aiming this at an English-speaking audience, then we'll want to Romanize the things that are in Japanese, and we'll want to provide English translations of things so that people can see what they say, and we'll sort things in alphabetic form. There are a couple of other options up here that we'll look at the end, when we're over in the word processor. Okay, so let's jump across here and open a document. Here comes Writer, and we'll resize this real quick. Oops, there we go. And we'll give this thing a title. My Amazing Essay. There we go. And make that a proper title. Ourselves some simple assertions here. Every word my own. And a bibliography, which of course is the main item of interest. There we go. And we'll give ourselves some citations. For the style, we'll use the Chicago Manual of Style with full note, and that's an English reference which will turn up for us when we do that. Alright, so this is a straight up English reference, not much to comment on there. We'll add the next one will be a Japanese reference that comes through in Romanized form with a translation after the title, and we have the styling decorations, italics in this case, only on the proper title, which suits normal conventions. Now, wait a moment. I'm about to do something silly here. There we go. Put our next reference after the 3, and that goes in. And then for our final reference, we'll cite to this work on cinema. There we are. So you can see that things have been Romanized and translated nicely. And now we'll look at a couple of additional features. We can reach the language's control screen from inside the word processor. This gives us per document control over the variants that are used. The one that I'd like to play with right now for a demo is this option to show the original form of transliterated names in the bibliography. This is a convention that's coming on in the hard science publishing sphere, so that we can more easily identify the actual author when a person's name is Romanized. Another item is the use of the comma here. In Japanese or Chinese, in most countries actually, the most countries in Asia actually, the naming convention is a family name followed by a given name. So the comma is a bit unnatural there. And so if we would like to lose that, then we can go back to Document Preferences, go to Languages, and select that we want to follow the formatting conventions of the original name form in the event that a name is transliterated. And if we hit that, then we lose the comma, and that looks a bit better. Alright, and now let's, now that we've got our nice little, very short, and not terribly persuasive essay written, now let's have a look at changing its form a bit. So let's release this stuff. If we simply remove the constraints, we'll get the citations through in their original form, in their original language. And that's going to make most of the citations Japanese. And for that purpose, we're going to make use of slight extension to the CSL language that's built into the processor for formatting documents that require mixed citation forms. Here we're applying the standard Chicago manual form to the English citation, but for the other references, which are in Japanese, we're applying Japanese formatting conventions. You'll notice that there are no actual spaces here, and everything's been closed up, and we've applied in a sort of rough form. This is not a formal style, but we've applied Japanese punctuation to these. So there's a completely different style that's being applied to the Japanese references. Where that happens is from the language tag, which is being passed through to the processor. So to make this particular facility work, we flag entries as being from a particular language domain so that the formatting conventions can be shaped to them. Okay, well, that's about it for the tour. Right. We're looking forward to making use of this in scholarship down the road, and I hope that if you pick up Multilingual Zotero and use it in your studies or in your work, that it helps you to be a more productive and happier scholar. Thank you very much. I'll bow out now. Sayonara, sayonara, sayonara.